I have a young friend who just turned 18. We were playing Guitar Hero, and it came up that he's never heard Pearl Jam's song, Even Flow. Okay, he was born in, 89, 90, whatever, 89, whatever. I can see not knowing that one Pearl Jam song. But turns out he doesn't know any Nirvana songs either. Um, or Soundgarden or Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, any of that. Anything around that period, anything electronic that came soon after. Nothing. So it got me thinking. Everybody wants to know what's wrong with kids these days, always. I think I know what's wrong with kids these days. If you were born in 1990, that means that while you were a baby, the United States was experiencing its ridiculous post-80s, 60s, known as the 90s, positive, hilarious era of national budget surplus. Anyway, glorification of the past aside, these guys, and I know this because I work with mostly teenagers, and I'm very interested in media, and I always have been, and I talk to these guys a lot about music and TV and what they think about stuff, and it's always weird. Like, I never understand it, and I think I understand why now. The reason that these guys are into these shitty bands, like all this huge, there's a huge hardcore movement around here, and like, just a lot of people settling for crappy music because that's what there is. That's all they've ever known. That's fucking unbelievable. I think it was what the cover of Rolling Stone in 1998 said, the year rap was rock, or whatever. And not that it has anything to do with rap necessarily, I just think that was sort of a decent time marker of a cutoff point culturally, where it appeared that commercial interest had consumed all creative forces again, like happened in the late 70s, I guess, maybe early 80s, whatever. And it just seemed like the end of an era. And if you were born in 1990, the year rap was rock was the year you were 8. Now, I know grunge isn't the most important musical thing to ever happen, and I know it's not all that complex and, creative or whatever, and I know it got all huge and super corporate and did a number on the music industry in general. But it was something new and different. And even though it took on parts of other things, it was still its own thing, and it was new, and it was different. There hasn't been anything new and different that I can think of in music since the 90s. And that's crazy. I mean, I just sort of recently decided that the feeling I've had for the last number of years was culture shock. It's like living in another country. I don't understand what the hell is on TV now. And it's not because I haven't had cable for, 2 years, whatever. That doesn't matter. I still watch TV shows. I just don't watch television. I mean, the shows that I know I like, I can acquire and watch otherwise. So I do that. That's fine. It's only a few things, which is exactly why I wouldn't need TV. I especially wouldn't need to pay $100 a month for 17 channels of garbage. I don't like it when people exaggerate the number of channels on cable or satellite television. I don't think that was ever funny, man. I think people started doing that shit in the 80s. Oh man, on my satellite I can get like 150 channels. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, so I asked these guys what was television to them, and mostly, I mean, they just said crap. reality TV, American Idol, uh, Family Guy, that kind of stuff maybe. But TV to me is Ed Sullivan, Johnny Carson, Dave Van Dyke, Dobie Gillis, Maynard G. Krebs. I don't know. Green Acres, Remote Control, Beavis and Butthead, Liquid Television, Mork and Mindy. None of that shit's on anymore. There are about 40 years of something that, well, Nick at Night used to, so I think it was a joke. It sounded sarcastic. They used to jokingly refer to these old shows they showed because, I mean, what else are you going to do? There should always be new channels for old shows. I don't understand how this is, what the bottlenecks are here anyway, but Nick at Night used to joke around saying it was our television heritage. It's fucking true. I mean, there's things in TV that we're not proud of, and there's some stupid moments and all kinds of dumb drama, especially since reality, fucking whatever, has taken over. But those moments are our culture. Americans don't have their own culture before 1900. It's big media that makes America what it is. And if we've let all of our creative forces be consumed by capital interests, that's not the right word. Anyway, where's the art nowadays? And I understand, and I made it very important and clear to these guys that there's always fringe art. There is always, if you dig, you can always find something, and that's important because that's a very positive thing. And if you don't know that, you can be trapped in just a fucking labyrinth of crap. I mean, can you imagine being like 16 and having no exposure to any of the music of the 80s or 90s or 70s or 60s and trying to watch MTV? I mean, what the hell kind of signal are you going to get from that shit? It's as far as I'm concerned, MTV has well, certainly at this point done at least as much damage to the culture as it has done benefits. And there are benefits to MTV. It didn't, it didn't create, but it certainly proliferated the fucking music video art form. I mean, that's a serious art form. And it provided 2 or 3 generations of people with a wide variety of music that was both popular and appropriate. That's gone. All of those things have been funneled down into commercial interests. So I don't know. I guess we just gotta hope for the future and hope that something tips over and we get back on track with culture and art in general. Because, I mean, we don't want to live in some sort of fucking sci-fi nightmare. I mean, we already live in the goddamn Matrix. It's not well, it's not funny to reference the Matrix or make Matrix jokes. I'm just saying that we might as well live in the Matrix. It really is almost that bad. But, I mean, I guess the only place to look is up. Which is good. That's the whole point. So I guess to wrap up, I was completely shocked at what these guys hadn't seen, and then it led me to consider why the generational differences seem so much more drastic between me and someone that's not even, 10 years or whatever younger than me, as opposed to people. I get along with people that are 40, 30, 25 years older than me. It doesn't matter how. But as soon as you start going down, it doesn't make any sense. It starts to break down. I think I might have figured out why. So anyway, that's the thought for today.